Welcome to the Mayor's Forum. I'm Joe Petty, Mayor of the City of Worcester. Joining me in today's show is Maureen Binienda, Principal of South High School, along with Johnetta Smith, Band Director. And before we go into the program, I just want to thank you for performing at the inauguration on January 2nd. You did a great job. People are still talking about it. And I know we had both the band and the chorus there. And it was just a beautiful number. And maybe talk about the number that was chosen, why you chose it, and we'll go from there.
Well, we chose When You Believe, which is from the animated show Prince of Egypt. And the reason we chose it is because it's a very uplifting piece. It talks about when you believe miracles can happen, and it's not particularly sectarian, even though that was, of course, a story that was referenced from the children of Israel. And it's a beautiful tune without the words, and you put the words with it, and it just makes you think you can do anything. And we've, you know, Worcester has had some sad moments, and we felt like it would possibly bring a little healing and hope to our community. So that was what I was thinking when I suggested that one.
It was a beautiful performance, and then you had two students from the chorus who pitched in at the last minute. We had someone scheduled to do the national anthem, and that person couldn't show up, and we by luck, we had two students from the chorus who were willing to step up and maybe talk a little bit about them, and they did a wonderful job singing the national anthem, and it was just great.
Well, our chorus teacher, Patricia Falcone, is just terrific at keeping students prepared. So we always like to have the national anthem prepared at South High. Both the band and the chorus are always ready for that, and those two students just always do a terrific job on that. And Maureen, you may want to speak to their story.
What was their names? Mary and Cassandra?
Cassandra. Mary and Cassandra. What's great about Mary and Cassandra, for me, sitting in the audience, it was so inspirational because one of those students, 5 years ago, was living in Africa. And in her wildest dreams, she never would have thought that she'd be singing for the inauguration of the mayor in Worcester. And so to just hear the voice and see the look on their eyes, they were very proud of the fact that they were asked to sing, and both of them were always ready to sing a song at a moment's notice. They love singing, and I just thought they did such a great job. And the other part of it is that's their version of the national anthem. They really put their heart and soul into it when they sing, and just to sit there and to listen to them was very inspirational to me.
Let's talk about some of your band members. It's a diverse group, I noticed, and how many band members are there in the band? Right.
We have 72 in our honors band.
And different nationalities, different from all over the world, right?
Yes, we have a good number of first-generation American students, and then we have some students who were born in other countries who have come here, Albania, Poland, Vietnam, Brazil.
7 countries.
7 countries.
We looked at the list, and because I think that's important for people to know that these are students that came from countries, many of the countries were in war, and so the students are brought here looking for a new life, and they joined the band, and they're playing beautiful music, and now they're going to be able to play July 4th, 2012 in Washington, D.C., marching down Constitution Ave.
And that's what we talked about, and that you made a good reference to that the other day when we met with the city manager, Mike O'Brien, and how you didn't realize until you had to fill out the forms for Secret Service, and you had to get all those codes for all the countries, and because Secret Service had to do their background checks, and all of a sudden you see, and it really dawns on you how many kids are from all over the world right here at South High School, and how they want to succeed here, and how they're participating, and so important. South High School is a great school, and you do a great job up there. And the tough circumstances too. But let's talk about how South High was chosen to go to Washington D.C. on the 4th of July celebration. They're going to march on 4th of July down to Constitution Avenue in the parade, along with several other marching bands. I guess their bands are chosen from each state.
One band.
And the governor chose this one through a competition process, or was this chosen, or how was that done?
There was a video that we had to send, and they looked at the videos and they presented. There were 9 bands that applied, and they got to look through the 9 videos, and then the Governor Deval Patrick ended up choosing South High School as the band to march representing Massachusetts.
Well, that's great, and that's wonderful. So they're going to. You're going to go down there on July 2nd or 3rd, and you're going to spend a week in Washington, D.C. And in order to do that, though, we need to raise some money, correct? Yes. I noticed that it was like $550 per student or some number like that, which is a lot of money times 72. And so it's around $39,000 or $37,000. And you've raised some money, and we still need to raise more. And for the students, and that's why we met with the city manager. I know Michael Bryan's been very helpful and will be very helpful in the future. He has some great ideas on how to get you some fundraising dollars. And I know you have some ideas too, and you've already raised about $17,000.
Yes.
And so how can people participate and help out and get you down there at Washington D.C.?
Well,
so we're short about $20,000, right?
Yes.
Plus the cost of uniforms.
Yes.
So we have two hurdles to accomplish, and the important part on the uniform is I know you could probably go without if you had to, but every other band, and you've looked at the tapes from the previous parades and how sharp they look and how proud these kids are, and get those uniforms. I think for the kids would be great, and because they play wonderful, so they're going to do a great job. But I know you have some ideas for fundraising. Maybe we'll go into that a little bit. What have you done so far for fundraising? I know you have a raffle coming up, and
yes,
and maybe go into that a little bit.
Well, we're selling only 1,000 raffle tickets. They're $20 each, and the first prize is $102 scratch tickets. The second prize is $200, and the third prize is $100. So if a person wanted to buy raffle tickets, they could...
so it's $20 a ticket.
$20 to South High Band.
You have a website where people can find out how to purchase this?
SouthHighMarchingBand.com.
.com, okay. And you go on there, buy a ticket, or you go up to South High School. I'm sure Maureen would love to sell your ticket
and then
at
we
the office.
Send the money.
Even show them, the school, a little tour of the school, and really show them how appreciative we are, because without fundraising this, the students won't be able to go.
Right.
And we're working as hard as we can. We already raised $17,000, and we did that we had a toll booth. We stand on the street corners and collect money as cars come by. We did that. The band has gone to several organizations and played, and they gave a donation for the band. The band was in the Columbus Day Parade, and they'll be in the St. Patrick's Day Parade.
Oh, yeah, great. Because people want to probably come and hear them. But we'll go into that in a few minutes. We're going to go into a break right now, and if you want to reach the mayor's office of a question or suggestion, my telephone number and my email address is listed at the bottom of the screen. I think along with the South High Marching Band website and also South High School's website. Thank you. We'll be back in a minute. Welcome back to the Mayor's Forum. With us today we have Maureen Binienda, principal of South High School, and Johnetta Smith, the band leader for South High School Marching Band. Before we went to break, we're talking about the fundraising, and we might have moved a bit too quickly in the first part of the segment. Let's just talk about South High School and why you have to do the fundraising. When I was campaigning for mayor last fall, and I ran into you, and something stuck into my head, and it's never left me either, is that you were telling me how many homeless kids at your school. It was like 173 or some number like that. It was high. It was just astonishing to me. And we also talked about the low income or percentage of kids who have the meal plan.
Yes.
And I think that's what you use as a barometer with kids who need help. And what's the percentage of kids who have type of meal plan, if that's the right terminology?
Well, right now 80.55% of the students at South High are on free and reduced lunch. And this year, currently, we have 155 homeless students or families this year. And hunger has become such an issue for us that we actually do run a food pantry for our students out of our health center, so that kids have enough food so when they come to school they can learn.
Right.
And so these are the exact same kids that we give an instrument to, because we provide the instruments for our students. Many of them would never be able to play in the band because they couldn't afford an instrument. So Johnetta provides the instrument for every student. And how great it is that they're able to learn how to play an instrument at this age. And now these same students are going to be able to go to Washington, D.C. and go for a tour of the White House. We're going to lay a wreath in the tomb of the unknown soldier. They're going to be able to see, one of my favorite places is the Lincoln Memorial. They'll be able to see the Lincoln Memorial. So it's connecting what they're learning in school, the history they learn in school, and many of these kids are from other countries, so that connection of visually being there and being able to be there themselves is going to be something that they're never going to forget.
Right. It's going to be a great experience for them.
It is.
And that's one of the reasons we're fundraising. It's over $500 per child to go to Washington, D.C. That includes the bus trip down, food, hotel, and the bus trip back, and the stops on the way. So. So this is an important endeavor, and hopefully the people of Worcester, in Worcester County can participate in this endeavor, because these kids are wonderful. They deserve to go and represent the city of Worcester, the state of Massachusetts. And I know we have this. You get the $20 raffle ticket, and people can go on your website, the South High Marching Band website, or the school's website, and purchase that. And we're going to sell 1,000 tickets, correct?
Yes, 1,000.
And some of the other things, we talked about some of the ideas you may have, maybe adopt a student. We talked about that. And just give a little background, we met with Maureen and Johnetta, with the city manager earlier this week. And he was very interested, because he knows where these kids are coming from and how important it is to them. And he's willing to participate and help out and try to do some fundraising with you. And if people are interested in just to make a donation, you don't have to buy a raffle ticket. You go right. You can adopt a student for, what was it? Do we have a price?
It's $400 to adopt a student. The price of $519 per student to go to Washington, D.C. So we really required every student to raise $115 themselves.
So they participated, right?
Because they have to put their part into it too, and so every student has done that. Okay. So we have that from every single student, and now we've done our fundraising, but we need obviously more money, and so it's $400 to adopt a student, and you actually get a picture of the student, and on the back of the picture is a story, a little story about the student and what it means for that student to represent the state of Massachusetts in Washington, D.C. And when we're in Washington, D.C., we'll blog. The students will blog what's happening, so that the people that adopted the student will get information every day as to what we're doing, and so that they can see the difference that they've made. So,
is that right?
Yes.
I'm going to adopt a student.
That's
so
right.
I'm going to put that out there for the challenges for my colleagues, and maybe we can get that going, because and you get the card and with the description of the student and why it's so important to them.
And of course, it is tax deductible.
That's right. That's an important point. That's right.
Yes.
You get tax season coming up, so that's great. And I know we're talking off during the break. You were talking about there's a store behind the uniform, is
yes.
it? And maybe we can go into that a little bit.
Well, our current uniforms are actually very attractive, but we only have the top half. So we have a jacket and we have hats. The uniforms are used. They were from a nice school down in Pennsylvania, and we were able to get them cheaply because they got nice new uniforms for themselves, but they were only selling the jacket. So they're fall and winter weight jackets, so they're pretty heavy, and students wilt when it becomes 78 degrees or higher. So
and Washington, D.C. is not hot in the summer.
Maybe just a little bit, do you think? So we need summer weight uniforms, otherwise we won't be able to wear those. We can't put our kids through that.
And that's what we discussed with the city manager, and
yes.
So our fundraising endeavor is really around $34,000.
Yes.
Because the uniforms, how much are the uniforms?
Well, they come in components, and
you want to do it right.
You have to get them custom made. So the jacket is, if it's absolutely totally plain, $50 maybe. But if you want a little trim here, or you'd like South High on it somewhere, then you're moving up toward $100. So it's between 50. Now the pants are like those old-fashioned ski bibbers. You know, they come up high, but they're very nice. They're $45 each. Okay. So that type of thing, and we would like to have matching shoes. Those are about $30 bucks.
I think we're going to get there. We're going to try our hardest to get there. And with that, we're going to go to a break. And if you'd like to reach me or have a question or suggestion for my office, you can telephone the office or email me at the, which is listed at the bottom of this screen, along with the South High Marching Band website and South High School's website. Thank you, and we'll be right back. Welcome back to the Mayor's Forum. With us we have Maureen Binienda, Johnetta Smith from South High School. Before we went on break, we're just talking about some of the fundraising activities that you're going to do in order to get the kids down there. And let's just talk a little bit about after you were chosen by the governor, and what was the first thing that went through your head, and what did you have to do in order to get beyond the governor's choice to get to Washington, D.C.?
Well, my first thought was, there's no way we can afford it. This is nice. I wouldn't say no outright, but I didn't think it would happen. And Maureen called me on my cell phone and said, I just don't think we can pass this up. I think it can happen. And I said, well, Maureen, you know. And so, you know, she's really the one who propelled it forward, because I'm not sure I had the faith she had to make it happen. So we did go forward with it, and it's been a good choice. It's really kick-started our program. I feel like our students are better musicians than ever, because they know that they're going to be compared to all the other bands in the nation, and they care about that. So it's been fantastic. It's been a terrific journey. Our parents have gotten involved, more involved than ever.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Yes. Other families and
I
everything?
think that this will make our band program viable for many years, because we have made a strong foundation. Yes. We have a real band parents association, which we haven't had at South High since I've been there. This is my 8th year.
Well, bands are hard to get going. I mean, they're hard to, I mean, especially marching bands, and to keep the kids interested, to get the programs viable. I know I played a trumpet when I was younger, and Hurt Street School, and at East Middle, we had a band at East Middle, and then after high school, I just didn't play anymore. But that's wonderful. You have 72 kids. That's a big band.
That's a great band.
That doesn't count the beginning band. So we have a beginning band class in case they didn't learn in middle school, and we'll get them in one way or another.
So you have more kids who participate beyond 72?
Absolutely. So anybody at South High can play an instrument.
Wow, that's a big program. You're doing a great job up there. And okay, after you decided, once Maureen convinced you to go forward, and what happened then? Because you still weren't really, you still had to go through another hurdle in order to get down to Washington, D.C., right?
Yes, well, there's a company that produces the National Independence Day Parade, and they wanted to make sure that we were acceptable. So we did go through a vetting process. That company is, they hire band directors as part-time people who help vet the other groups who come in. So we passed that, so we're on our way.
But we knew we would pass it.
Maureen knew we would pass it.
We would pass it because we know the kids were that great, you know, and they were so dedicated to it. And the other part about the band members is that they just don't play an instrument. You know, they study very hard. They are involved in athletics, and they're involved in service to community. So they're very well-rounded students, and they really want to make a difference in the world every day now, but also when they leave South High School. And so some of them, you know, like Mary that you were talking about, that sang for the inauguration, she's our first Posse scholarship winner, and she's going to attend Bucknell next year at 100% free. And so the opportunities like the band and presenting and representing your school also help with the future of the student also, because it establishes that dedication and that feeling that hard work pays off, and that, you know, I can represent more than myself. I can represent my school, I can represent my family, and I can represent my community. And that's a powerful message for a kid to learn. And that's what we try to do every day. And this is just an example, you know, the band of showing the community that look at what all these kids could do. Because for many of them, they themselves never thought that they'd be in Washington, D.C. representing the state of Massachusetts.
Or singing for the mayor in the inauguration.
Absolutely.
Yes. Right?
But like Mary, I think she's one of the students who came from another country just a
Yes,
few
nice.
short
Yes.
years ago.
Yes.
And now she's singing the national anthem, and
Yes.
and she's performing well. And your school is very community oriented
We are.
too. And the kids just don't show up and play in the band; they're also
Involved in
participate.
For our school, we're involved with just about every nonprofit that there is in the community. We do work for the Audubon Society. We run the canal tours that run all summer on Tuesdays or Thursdays, where our kids dress as people that used to build the Blackstone Canal, and they're free tours all summer long. Students are involved in tutoring in the elementary schools. We have a youth philanthropy council that some of the band members are part of, that apply for grants and get matching grants from some corporate partners, and over the last 8 years have given over $80,000 to the community. So they've raised that to give to the community to make this community a better place. And so the important part we teach them is that you may be asking the community for something right now, but in the end, or along the way, you also have to give back to the community. And that can be done through community service. And the other part of that is we teach them that you need to be appreciative, because it's very important to be appreciative of what other people do for you. So everybody that gives to the band, they get a really nice card back, signed by the band members, that thank them for making this opportunity possible for them.
Wow, that's great. I mean, you're doing a great job at South High School.
Thank you.
You know, I think sometimes the good messages get lost, and the great job that the Worcester Public Schools do, what South High School is doing along with the other schools in the community. It's just wonderful. And what are some, if someone wanted to go listen to the band or to the chorus, what are some of the
Spring concert would be good.
concerts coming up that they could go and listen? And doing anything in the St. Patrick's Day Parade, or any type of other events coming up?
We are marching in the St. Patrick's Day Parade, so we always enjoy that. We do have a recital in March. I'm sorry, I can't tell you that date right
That's all right.
now. We're still working on that.
Yep.
Yes. But the recital is fantastic because it's not the entire band at once. They break into chamber groups. Sometimes they are playing something that's a popular piece, or maybe they're playing classical music. So that's in March, and then in May we have the chorus and band spring concert, which will be fantastic. And you can always hear us at the graduation. And June 9th, we're marching
around Elm Park for Edward Street Daycare Center. They're doing some special kickoffs, so they asked if we would come and march around the park and be kind of the focus point of that. So we're going to do that. They played at the center on Vernon Street.
The senior center.
Senior center.
Oh, they were very hospitable to us.
You
It's for
played
Veterans
at
Day.
Unum to kick off the United Way
Yes.
campaign. So we're playing wherever anybody really needs us to play, and the kids like that. They like the fact that the community is becoming part of our school. And our school is South High Community School, and that's why that school was built, so that the community could be part of it, and we're part of it.
I think that's the first time I heard. I think, did you do the Columbus Day Parade last year at all? Did you march in that? The Columbus Day Parade? I think. I think
The Columbus Day Parade,
Oh,
you did?
absolutely, yes.
Yeah,
Sorry.
that's when I think I was marching right with you, right around you.
Oh,
that's,
yes.
that's when I first tried.
Yes.
That's when I ran into Maureen, and I said, "Why don't you play at the inauguration?" And,
Yes.
and
It was a great
choice. With that, we're running out of time, so let's just go over a few more things here. If people want to participate and help out South High School's cause, which is a great cause, and that's a great band, they'll be going down to Washington D.C. July 4th, and to play for the president. And you can participate with a $20 raffle ticket. You can go on to the South High website and also the South High Marching Band website, which is run by the parents, and buy this ticket. Or you can adopt a student for $400, because each kid already contributed themselves was it $118?
Yes.
So they have some money into it themselves, and they understand how
or will
important this
accept
is.
any
Donations.
type of donation.
Right.
Absolutely.
And I know the manager. I know I talked to Linda Boone last night. She's also on board, and she wants to help out. So I think this is going to be a community effort. It's going to be great. And with that, it's like this has been the Mayor's Forum. I'm Joe Petty, and we're going to see you next time. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.